Hello, and welcome to another one of our series for supporting you, the educators, in our PEPG or Educator Effectiveness Plan. My name is Matt Drewette-Card. I am the Director of Curriculum Instruction Assessment for MSAD 46, representing the towns of Dexter, Exeter, Garland, and Ripley. And what we're going to do today is we're going to look beyond Domain 1. Right here on the screen in front of you, we've been doing the Marzano model for several years now, and we've been strongly and sincerely focused on Domain 1. All about classroom strategies and behaviors. In other words, instruction and instructional environment. And those are critically important. They're one of, if not the most important things of being an effective educator is, are we having the impact and influence on our students' learning that we really want to have? But it's only one part of being an effective educator. There are more pieces, and there are more pieces within the Marzano model, and that's what I wanted to share with you today. So continuing to look at the domain maps, you'll see that there are three more domains. Sorry, I was looking at three more domains: planning and preparation, reflecting on teaching and collegiality, and professionalism. Move that out of the way a little bit. So if we're looking at things like planning and preparation, it's pretty straightforward in terms of how we get ready. So there are different elements like there are in the first domain. There are far fewer, but there are still some significant ones. Effective scaffolding, and scaffolding both with content but also with complexity, using the Marzano taxonomy, that big poster with the arrows and the colors and the words that are all in everyone's classrooms. Attention to established content standards and things like available resources, technology. And then it gets into English learners, and it gets into students receiving special education or who lack the support. So how do we prepare intentionally and explicitly for students who are outside of the quote unquote whatever general education means, or who might need some additional different type of supports? Domain 3 is all about reflection. This is one of the most key and essential pieces of being an effective educator, because we can be doing a great job, but if we're not checking ourselves and getting reflected on it, we don't really know. If we want to make great cupcakes, we won't know unless we get honest feedback and we make sure that we reflect on what we've done if it hasn't really worked, or even if it has worked, we reflect on what's done. So it's looking at areas of pedagogical strengths, weaknesses, evaluating effectiveness, and developing growth and written development plans to improve. It's being that level of honest reflection. And the final domain is domain 4, which is called collegiality and professionalism. And this has to do with things like promoting a positive environment, creating an environment where things like walking on eggshells isn't necessarily a thing, where you can be able to give really critical feedback and important feedback to your colleagues and not make it feel like or seem like or interpret it as it's being personal. It's all about professionalism and being there for each other, to support each other, because we all have the same end in mind: mentorship, and then of course the typical adhering to school and district rules. So as you can see, there are several other domains in the Marzano model. 4 domains overall. We spend most of our time on instructional strategies and behaviors, but it is also a piece that you can use in your growth plan when you're developing components, when you're developing standards, that you can, if you want your evaluators to look at, or if you want to self-assess yourself on, you absolutely can. And that's what I'm going to show you right now how to do. So what you do is you create a new tab or so, or a new window, however you want to do this, and you go to effectiveeducators.com, and that should bring you right to the iObservation login page. And you log in the normal way. I'm going to log in as myself here. So it might look a little bit different, or yours might have different coloration, might not have all the normal, might not have all this stuff on there. But what you can do is, if you were to come to observations and you don't know what the elements look like, you can go and you can do a thing called preview forms. And when you preview your forms, these are all the forms that are available to us for when you're doing an observation of yourself, a self-assessment. That's one of the forms. When you're doing a peer observation on someone, that's a form you would use. So if you wanted to go and do a peer observation on someone and you wanted to look at their target elements in the domain 1 of those 41 instructional elements, like providing rigorous learning goals and scales, you would do it through domain 1. But there's also these other: planning and preparing, reflecting on teaching, and collegiality and professionalism. And it all works the same. So what you would want to do is you would then do an observation, or if you want to do something on yourself. So let's say I'm going to actually conduct an observation, and I'm going to conduct one on me. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to over here, and I'm going to change the form. So it'll select a lot of different things, and usually I stand out here the district leader evaluation model. But today I'm going to go to planning and preparation. Okay, and now I'm going to begin. I'm going to put my location of where I am. Actually, I'm here, and so this is where I'm just located at the moment in my office. And just like you would normally see for doing a self-assessment, or like you would see for doing any kind of observation, you would see these particular options. These are the elements. And if I wanted to say like, okay, well, I wanted to observe Matt on really effectively scaffolding information within the unit, the lesson. So I'd click on that. Here's the desired effect up here. Within lessons, the teacher prepares and plans the organization of content in such a way that each new piece of information builds on the previous. These here, your evidence, remember, the evidence is not required. These are examples. You can bring in and have other evidence, which you can attach as in the comments or upload as attachments. You would look at the scale, try to figure out where it is. Do I do it, as content is clear? Am I developing such a way that new pieces of information clearly builds on? So it's as the scale again, you would want to look at, and you could just say deploying, developing. I'm going to say developing and whatnot. So you can just score someone and create a comment. Blah, 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 from Bob, blah, blah. And if you know who blah, blah, blah was, then you're a fan of Arrested Development. Awesome. And once you're done with any observation, you would click the finish. If you're not finished with it, you would hit save draft. If you're finished for now and you want to come back and do more, save and close. Remember, once you press finish, it's done and it's in there forever. But so I'm going to actually cancel out of this because I don't need to save this on myself. It's just a fake one. So what you see though is you can come back to observations, and if you wanted to preview the forms, just different ones again, planning and preparation, reflecting on teaching, they're all basically in the same format. So you can just go ahead and do an observation on yourself. If you wanted to choose those for your growth plan, you can. There's no reason why you can't add them in. It's just a matter of effectiveness, and it's a matter of making sure that it's okay with your evaluator. Check in with him or her. So this has just been a quick look at the other domains within iObservation, within the Marzano Teacher Model, that are available to kind of help us look at the whole picture of an effective educator alongside of the effective instruction and classroom strategies and behaviors. If you have any questions or comments whatsoever, do not hesitate to contact me. You know my email by now, for those of you who are seeing this video. And if you don't know my email, it's on the website where you probably clicked this from. So thanks again for watching, and let me know how I can help. I'm there for you. Take care.